Alex Thompson stared at the glowing screen of his laptop, the cursor blinking mockingly in the empty code editor. It was 2 a.m. in his cramped San Francisco apartment, the kind of place where the rent alone could fund a small army of startups. At 31, he was a senior software engineer at a tech firm that rhymed with schmoogle, pulling in a salary that would have made his younger self's eyes bulge, 6 figures with bonuses that could buy a car outright. But tonight, like so many nights, his mind wasn't on algorithms or pull requests. It was on a faded sign in a dusty Midwest town, Thompson Hardware, serving our community since 1978. The store had been his parents' pride and joy, a relic of a bygone era where local businesses thrived on handshakes and loyalty. His father, Jack, had inherited it from his own father, turning it into a family anchor. His mother, Linda, handled the books, or what passed for books in a place where receipts were stuffed into shoeboxes. Growing up in Elmwood, Illinois, a town of 5,000 souls, where the biggest event was the annual Corn Festival, Alex had spent his childhood sweeping floors, stocking shelves with nails and paint cans, and listening to his dad's stories about the good old days. Back then, the store was bustling, a hub for farmers and handymen. But times changed. Big box chains like Home Depot moved in, undercutting prices and offering conveniences the Thompsons couldn't match. Alex's parents weren't bad people, far from it. Jack was a stoic man, broad-shouldered from years of lifting lumber, with a laugh that could fill a room. Linda was the social glue, charming customers with her warm smile and endless cups of coffee. They had sacrificed for Alex, sending him to the state university on scholarships and part-time jobs, scraping together enough for his first computer when he showed an aptitude for coding. "You're our ticket out," his mom would say, half joking, as she clipped coupons for groceries. But as Alex climbed the ladder, internships in Chicago, then a job in Silicon Valley, the family's fortunes dipped. The store's revenue flatlined, debts mounted, and his parents' optimism turned to quiet desperation. It started small. During his junior year of college, Alex got a call from his dad. "Son, we're a bit short on the rent this month. Just a temporary thing. Bad weather kept folks indoors." Alex wired $500 from his meager savings, earned from tutoring math. It felt good, like giving back. The next month, it was inventory costs, then payroll for the part-time clerk. By graduation, it was a ritual. Every paycheck, Alex skimmed off the top, sending checks home labeled family investment. His parents framed it that way too. "You're investing in your future," his mom would say during Sunday phone calls. "One day, this store will be yours. Imagine, Thompson and Son." Alex bought into it at first. He pictured himself retiring early, maybe modernizing the place with an online storefront or inventory software. But as the years ticked by, the investments grew. Thousands every month, funneled quietly through wire transfers and Venmo. He skipped vacations, opting for ramen over restaurants, and drove a beat-up Honda while his colleagues flaunted Teslas. His apartment remained a studio, dreams of a house deferred indefinitely. Relationships suffered too. Dates fizzled when he couldn't afford fancy outings or when weekends were spent crunching numbers for the store remotely. The problems at Thompson Hardware were systemic, not seasonal. Jack refused to adapt, poo-pooing e-commerce as impersonal and sticking to paper catalogs. Linda's business upgrades were thinly veiled luxuries, a new espresso machine for the customer lounge that doubled as her morning caffeine fix, or decorative planters that cost more than they brought in. Alex suggested changes, switch to energy-efficient lighting to cut bills, or partner with local contractors for bulk deals. But his input was dismissed. "You've got your fancy tech world," his dad would grumble. "Leave the hardware to us." His mom was worse, turning every critique into a guilt trip. "After all we've done, raising you, supporting your dreams, now you want to change everything?" By age 28, Alex had poured over $200,000 into the store, his entire savings buffer. It kept the lights on, but barely. Sales dipped further with online shopping's rise, exacerbated by the pandemic. Alex's life became a treadmill, code by day, worry by night. He met Sarah at a tech meetup, a graphic designer with a sharp wit and kind eyes. She saw through his excuses for frugality. "You're not cheap," she said on their third date. "You're burdened." Over time, she coaxed out the truth. Sarah urged boundaries, but Alex resisted. "They're family," he'd say. "You don't abandon family." The breaking point simmered for months before erupting. It was July 2025, a sweltering Midwest summer. Alex and Sarah flew home for the annual family barbecue, a tradition of grilled burgers, potato salad, and forced cheer. The backyard was strung with lights, relatives milling about. His parents pulled him aside after the meal, faces beaming. "Big news, son," Jack announced. "We're expanding. Found a spot in the next town over. Prime location." Alex's stomach dropped. Expanding? With what money? Linda waved a hand. "We'll figure it out. That's what family's for. You'll help with the down payment, right? It's an investment in our legacy." Sarah, overhearing, interjected politely. "Have you run the numbers? The current store's struggling. Maybe focus on stabilizing first." Linda's smile froze. "This is family business, dear. Outsiders don't understand." The argument escalated. Alex pushed back for the first time in years. "Mom, I've been funding this for a decade. I can't keep pouring money in without a say. Let's talk strategy, modernize, cut costs." Linda exploded, her voice carrying across the yard. "After everything we've done for you, paid for your school, your start, you're going to let us lose it all? You're no son of mine if you walk away now." The words hung like smoke from the grill. Relatives averted eyes. Jack stood silent, fiddling with his beer. Alex felt a crack inside, years of resentment surfacing. He grabbed Sarah's hand and left, the drive to the airport a blur of silence. Back in California, Alex canceled the recurring transfers. No fanfare, just a few clicks. The relief was immediate, like shedding a heavy coat. But guilt gnawed. Weeks later, the call came, his dad's voice cracking over the line. "Son, the supplier accounts are frozen. What's going on?" Alex took a breath. "I stopped funding a business that never valued my input." Silence, then a click. The store limped on for months, but without Alex's lifeline, it crumbled. Creditors called in debts, inventory sat unsold. By winter, Thompson Hardware shuttered its doors. His parents sold the building at a loss, downsizing to a modest condo. Relatives whispered about ungrateful kids, but Alex tuned it out. He proposed to Sarah that fall, buying a cozy house in the suburbs, a place with a yard, room for dreams. No triumph, just relief. Alex learned that family is an endless sacrifice without reciprocity. It's boundaries, respect, and mutual growth. The legacy? It lived in him now, reshaped, not in rusty shelves, but in code that built futures.